What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net, and behind me, this is it. This is episode, I think, 3 or 4, but this is my final episode. Could be your beginning chapter of this 1987 Cadillac Brougham D'Elegance, however you pronounce it, that has been saved. It is now looking for a new home. 1987 Cadillac Brougham. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'll put a link down in the description of my videos, but I'm going to tell you all about this car, all the details, all the stuff, and it could be yours. Let's take a look. Let's do a walk around. We'll take it for a drive. I'll tell you all about it right here in this video. Let's get going. And here she is, a beautiful 1987 Cadillac Brougham D'Elegance. This car is a really heavily loaded 1987. Actually, when this car came in, it was actually a fully loaded. I believe, and I haven't confirmed yet, but I believe it does have the security system. And with that, this car was a 1987 that had every conceivable option for 87. Now, some of those options are no longer in this car, and the biggest one you'll see is those wire wheels. Like I said from the beginning, I had bought this car from Copart. I'm going to throw the disclaimer out here for anybody who hasn't seen any of the other videos. I bought this car from Copart, had beautiful wire wheels. It was hit in the left front corner, and I had fixed it. Link is down in the description of this video for the other videos when I got it. Part 1 of fixing it, part 2 of fixing it, and now here it is for sale. I had bought this car for those wheels. I wanted the wheels for another one of my cars, and I had the option to either make this car a parts car or sell it as is to someone who wanted to fix it. That didn't pan out to be too successful. I get it. Not a lot of people out there want to just, get deep into a project like that. They want to just get something, turn the key, do a little bit of maintenance, and cruise. So I get it. So I didn't have the heart to part this car out. I ended up fixing the car, hung a fender, header panel, bumper, painted. Here it is, ready to rock and roll. I had still taken the wheels off. If I told you how many phone calls I got when I bought this car and I first showed it off, and everybody was like, I'll buy it after you fix it with the wheels, or I'll buy it the way it is with the wheels. I need the wheels. I need the wheels. I didn't want a lot of money for this car back before I fixed it. I still don't want a lot of money for it, but everybody wanted the wheels, and I kept saying, no. I even had one guy get into an argument with me, and I said, anyways, I won't get into it. But I have since fixed it. Fender, header, she's ready to rock and roll. This is a one-owner car. Colorado car its whole life, and ordered with all the options. Astro roof, it had the wire wheels, it has the electronic eye, auto-dimming headlights, memory seat. This car has, a lot of cool features that were 1987, was the end of the line for some of the other options. Some of these options, like the memory seat, like the CB radio. It also has dual power recliners. I know that doesn't sound like much, but that's actually a very rare option for these cars. Most of them had maybe a power passenger recliner, but most of them didn't have a power driver's recliner. That didn't come out until 1992s, where they had the power recliners on both sides. So it's a very special car. It's too nice to part out, too nice to send to the junkyard. So I did my favor to the Cadillac lords above, and I saved this car. Now, again, if you didn't see, I'm going to pretend nobody saw the video. Header, fender. You can see a little bit of paint, variance. We're talking about 1987 original lacquer, 2024 base clear. My body guy, I love him. He wanted to blend into the door, wanted to blend the hood. Again, going back to me not wanting to actually fix this car and wanting to sell it to somebody who was going to fix it themselves, I know what would have happened if I got into the hood. You got into the hood, Then you're going to have to get into the fender. Then you're going to have to take the door apart. I said, no, we're panel painting. And I know that's technically not the correct way, but no matter what, you're going to have a color variance difference from, 30-plus-year-old lacquer to, fresh base clear. But this is a great driver car. This isn't perfect. She's a beautifully presented, beautifully preserved car. But this is a great get-in, drive. Looks really great, honestly. But it isn't a car that's like, a huge dollar car or a car that you wouldn't mind taking out somewhere, if somebody accidentally dinged a door or something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes those perfect 20,000-mile cars aren't fun to drive. Believe me, I know. I have some of those cars in my collection, and I enjoy these cars because you can just cruise these and not worry, it rained out or a little bit of sap fell on the top. I got to clean it off. Like, I freak out with that on my perfect, 20,000-mile, 30,000-mile cars. This is a really strongly presented 93,000-mile car. But a one owner, and somebody loved this car. Cherished this car until the accident that happened. So we're going to go around. I'm going to show you this car, show you exactly what it is. Got nothing to hide. I've showed you enough videos of it already that most of you probably already know what this car is. But now that it's done, here it is to be presented to the world for sale. So I did do new filler panels on the front end of this car. Like I said in one of my previous videos, technically not the correct impact strips, but I didn't have nice front ones. And honestly, most people aren't going to notice. This is for the earlier 80s, like 80 till 84, I think, 5 maybe. I'm sure you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Correct original. All the parts that I could save off the original car are on here. Grill, bezel. This side, headlight bezel, corner light, all that stuff. Hood ornament, spears. This is off of one of my parts car. And then obviously the header assembly, fender. But everything else is pretty much original. The hood was not damaged. The door was not damaged. No frame damage. It was just really cosmetic front end. But you can see it came together very, very nicely here. Beautiful bright work, beautiful chrome. Now, I'm not going to point out every little freckle or ding or, whatever. I'm going to point out the big stuff because, again, this car is a driver quality car, and it shows that way, but it shows well. Beautiful paint on the header, but you can see here some checking in the paint on the hood, on the deck lid, especially these 80s lacquer cars. Just, unfortunately, they checked. Thankfully, this is kind of a flat color. I actually make fun of this color. I call it clear coat primer because it looks like primer that's clear coated. But if you really wanted to paint the hood, paint the deck lid, but it's just, when do you stop? I think it looks beautiful the way it is. It shows some patina, some little chips, various chips throughout the hood and stuff like that. But some of them have been touched up, some of them haven't. But when you get right up close on top of the paint, you can see that checking there. If the sun was out, shining down on the car, you probably wouldn't notice it. It does need the power antenna to be rebuilt. This is a CB tri-band antenna. I have the kits. I'll include a kit if you want. But I had to draw the line. I know people are going to ask me to do more and more things. Like, needs a few little mechanical things. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I had to draw the line. This car wasn't something I wanted to have linger around forever. New filler panels up front. A few little spots here where it's been touched up with little chips, little stone chips. But again, all in all, nice. I was able to match the pinstripe. You have your tomato red or bright red with a white two-tone. Got the headlamp monitors. All in all, shows really nice. 4 brand new tires. Still got the little nubs on them. Wire disc caps. I have the key for these as well. Locking disc caps. A couple little imperfections on some of the caps. Nothing too crazy. This was an all-original car before the accident. So rest of the paint, fillers are all original. Original glass. I mean, look, you got GM protection plan sticker right on that PPG glass. Power factory Astro roof. I mean, if I was blessed enough to have that option in most of my cars, I'd be a very lucky man. That's a very rare option to have. I only have one car out of my entire collection that has a factory hole in the roof, and it makes a big difference. Windows have a nice tint to it. I know it looks dark. That's because it's starting to get dusk, but it's actually not a super dark tint, and I actually like it. Normally I don't like tints, but I actually like it. Chrome is beautiful on this car. No pitting, all the stainless and bright work shows real well. Vinyl top is absolutely gorgeous. You can see here, very, very nice shape. All the emblems, look at the coloring in the emblems here. You can just see how nice, and this car was obviously garaged, loved, cared for, cherished. Come down the door here. Again, you're gonna find a few little dings or little, spots on the pinstripe or whatever, but absolutely no rust or anything like that. This door did have a little bit of waviness to it. I had my PDR guy come out and try to work it out the best as he possibly could. You can kind of see a little bit of wave there in the molding, but not horrible. It actually came out a lot better than it was. There was some high spots here, some low spots, and he got it actually pretty good. You can see a few little crinkles and waves, but again, shows 80% better than it did. I feel like I'm starting to sound like a used car guy. Go figure. Look at the sheen off the top. Does have whatever rubbed down the door here. You can see rubbed a little bit there and rubbed a little bit here. Another wire disc cap, some scarring on the edge. I took this set of caps. I needed the caps and the locks, the little spiders that hold the caps on. Took that off of one of my parts cars. Again, a couple little just minor chips throughout. Does have a little rub mark here that I honestly think will rub out with a little bit of compound. It's going to rain for the next 6 days or forever, whichever comes first. So I rushed today to get this car cleaned and done because today's my last bit of sunshine until like the end of next week. So I wanted to get this car in photographs so I could get it up for sale. Original rear fillers. You can even see it has the original pinstripe here. All the stainless, lower rockers, all in great shape. Chrome taillight housings, great shape. Taillights are in beautiful shape. This is what the front bumper strips are supposed to look like. It's supposed to have this thicker silver centerpiece where the one on this car, or the ones on this car now, have the white stripe. Again, no one's going to notice it. If you want to track down the right ones, you can. If you want to replace this one or those ones, whichever, it's up to you. That was the only bumper I had. 5-liter Cadillac. Have the trunk lock flipper here. It does show a little bit of fading in the color on that. Deck lid isn't as bad as the hood, really. I mean, you can't really see much for lacquer check. It's more the hood. Some a little further up here, you can kind of see a little bit of it starting, but back here, honestly, is not too bad. Even these fillers are original. Remote locking fuel door, no cracks or anything like that. Colorado car, loved, cherished, garaged. No rust or blistering on the rear bumper. Again, going back to parting this car out, that rear bumper, probably a $800, $1,000 rear bumper to the right guy, because the chrome is just so beautiful on this. So the value is there for me to part the car out. So don't get too, hasty in the comments, beating me up for taking the wheels off this car, because, well, I won't now that I fixed it, but I could have very easily parted this car out. This filler panel, again, original, but it does have, you can see a little bow mark. This was compressed in just a little bit, and right in here, you can see it kind of caught. There's a little bit of a lip on the taillight housing, and it causes it to blow out. We took the taillight out and kind of popped it back, so now look at how soft and pliable these are still. I'm hoping eventually it kind of comes back, but honestly, I don't know if it will. Doesn't look horrible, but that is like that. I didn't do any polishing. I didn't do any clay barring. This is, real good wash, nice clean. Actually, there was one spot I want to point out. Right here on the roof, you can see a little bit of a cut in the vinyl. I don't know how or when that happened. I know it didn't happen with me, but I just want to throw that out there as the sun's starting to set behind me. Beautiful Astro roof. Nice gasketing all the way around. It's not dried up, shriveled up, busted up. All the chrome, again, bright work. You can see the coloring in those crests. This hubcap looks like it's in a little bit of a divot there, but a little bit down there. Nice bright hubcaps, brand new white wall tires. A few little stone chips in here. A little bit of a scuff right there. Glass, everything is in great shape. Leading part of the windshield. Again, all this chrome, beautiful shape. Getting a parts car with all nice chrome like this, the door handles, the mirrors, there's a lot of value to that stuff because it's getting harder and harder to find nice quality chrome. Even these emblems, you know, these emblems, even though they're used, how nice they are. Easily 100, 125 bucks for those. So there is value in parts, but I couldn't come to terms with parting this car out. A couple little chips right there. You know, nothing real crazy. Did my best on fender gap alignment. I was a body man back in the day, but kind of got away from it. A little bit of fine tuning could maybe be done here, but honestly, it's not horrible. Striped, matching stripe down the side. You can see the nice gloss in that paint as the original body side molding. Another wire cap, the red centers. These caps were correct for 86 to 92, and like I showed in my last video when I finished this car, I put year correct 1987 aluminum wheels I had on this car. It was not every 87 had them, but Cadillac tried putting an aluminum wheel that looked like the steel wheels on these cars to reduce the weight of these cars, believe it or not, to try to conserve fuel. And a few little chips throughout the hood. I do have touch-up paint from obviously the job that I can include with the car. If you wanted to go around and dab some of these little stone chips, but it's not horrible. Again, it presents really well, shows really well. It's a beautiful car. Color on this car, again, I make fun of it and I call it clear coat primer, but I think it's either dove gray or gray pearl. I almost want to say the word pearl is supposed to be in there, but it's not a pearl color like a tri-stage. But I think that's what Cadillac may have called it. Very similar color to my 1979 Lee Cabriolet. Anyways, that's the outside. Now we're going to dive on to the inside and show you what the inside of this thing is all about. And then we'll take it for a spin back to the shop. Pretty neat. Original selling dealer. Red Nolan, Colorado Springs. Colorado car its whole entire life. All right, jumping on to the inside of this plush 1987 Cadillac. Absolutely just plush 80s vibe. The D'Elegance interior, the fake wood, the buttons, the knobs, the switches, wood everywhere. But we'll go around and show you the inside, all inside the jams, nice and clean, absolutely no rust. Real common spot on these 80s GMs. It's all inside. Oops. Oh yeah, I forgot to put that screw in. I actually have the screw in my pocket. I meant to do that before I left. All inside the door jams nice. You can see this is a little cracked up here. This is the guard for the door hinges in the back. It's like a cover, beauty cover. Weather stripping is nice and soft. There are some little splits here and some decomposition here. You can get these rubber weather stripping, although this one's still in pretty good shape. Just a little bit coming apart here. Honestly, I wouldn't replace it. There's no crazy wind noise or anything like that. Door panel itself, great shape. No cracks. Real common to see them crack right here. People put their elbow here, boom, right through. All the wood is in great shape, the chrome bezels. You have your memory seat. I honestly don't know if it works. It does work. Oh my God, that's nuts. Maybe it works. Yeah, it does work. That's crazy. Okay, so you can set 2 memory. 87 was the last year they offered the memory seats. Another super rare option for these cars. Beautiful dash pad, no cracks on the dash pad. Again, going back to parts value, dash pad, probably a $200-300 dash pad. All the chrome bright work around here, I know I showed this in my original video, is in great shape, no peeling or discoloration. It does have the auto headlights, Twilight Sentinel, but then it also has the auto dimming, so you can set that to auto dim high beams. Beautiful leather wrapped wheel. Look at how nice the leather wrapped wheel is, and this is a 93,000 mile car. What's crazy is that's so beautiful. The only downfall of the interior of this car is the driver's seat, where you can see some dry leather, although still very soft and plush. You get some wear marks through here and here. Not horrible. Might be able to be cleaned up. Bring it to an upholstery shop. Have them put in a couple pieces if you want. Do a little dye work. You could probably clean up quite nice. A little bit of dirt kind of embedded into that shag carpet right on this side, but otherwise the carpeting is all in great shape. Door sills, body by Fisher, interior by Fleetwood. Again, dual power recliners, very rare for 1987, or for this, even for this body style. Open up the back door here again. Nice weather stripping on these back doors. A little bit there. Nice and clean, absolutely no rust throughout the back here. Man, I am so happy I'm getting this video done today. It's Saturday, it's gonna rain Sunday, it's gonna rain Monday. Might get a clearing Tuesday, but I'm hoping you're watching this on Monday. We'll see how everything works out. Beautiful tufted leather. Back seat of this car, absolutely gorgeous. Carpeting, beautiful. Got the seat back, the map back pockets not all stretched out. I mean, just real nice. All the trim here, nice and bright. Usually that gets all marred up from people putting things in and out of the back seat. But super nice. I showed this in my original video, this little doily cover that Nana made for her precious Cadillac. I think is absolutely adorable. Headliner is in great shape. I don't know if it's been recovered or not. I don't know. I know the sunshade is starting to come on the edge off a little bit, but this actually does look like a recover, but they did a great job doing it. Again, super plush, super soft, plush D'Elegance interior. Before we open the trunk, we'll finish the inside. Nice and clean. No rust. No blistering, no corrosion, no nothing. Again, all the bright work, nice and clean. Gaskets, nice and soft. And just a little bit right here on this edge. Door panels, again, all this chrome bright work. The D'Elegance scripted. Just real clean. Well preserved. 1987 Brougham. And I think 86 was the last year they called them the Fleetwood Brougham. And then they went to just Brougham in 87. It's funny how many, I mean, I still call them Fleetwood Brougham. Although by 87 Fleetwood, you could get a front wheel drive Fleetwood. And that's what really trips people up. Look at this, beautiful. Just, oh my God. I wish I could make this into a sofa. The front wheel drive Fleetwoods are nice, but I think that's where it confuses a lot of people, because these were then just called the Broughams. Then in 93, they were called the Fleetwoods again. You got the Brougham package. Cadillac should have just stuck with, you know, one thing and gone with it. Again, nice soft stripping, A little bit of a crack there, just splitting. Might be shrinking a little bit. But again, inside those jams, nice and clean. Here's your dual power with power recline. Passenger seat's in great shape, nice and soft. A little bit of dry cracking there. No splits or anything like that. A little scratch there. You know, a few little marks in here, but otherwise, again, real nice for a 93,000 mile car. A few little spots where there might be a light staining, you can see there. Does still have the litter bin, and all the wood is nice and bright. Look, you can see my reflection in the wood. That's how nice this is. All the chrome around the radio, all this fake plastic chrome is in just great shape. The vents and stuff like that. Real cool that this is a 50-50 split. They had 60-40s. This was 50-50 with the two armrests, and they went to a one big flop down armrest. They changed the seating layout of these a few times, but this is real nice 50-50 split, dual power. Got another ashtray over here. You got one ashtray, two ashtrays, 3 and 4. Every smoker has their ashtray, but I don't believe this was a smoker's car because it does not smell. Looks like this might be coming off just a little bit here. I don't know what holds that on, but again, all the chrome, no splits, D'Elegance. Even these pieces here, real common for these to crack and split. People putting their elbows on them or whatever. Real nice on both sides. Dash pad, beautiful shape. Headliner, probably dual vanity mirrors lighted. And that big Astro roof. How you know that these are factory Astro roofs? See that T-switch? That's what they call it. That is the factory switch for these big boy Astro roofs. All right. Pop the hood. We'll pop the trunk, I guess, now that we're out here. Then we'll jump behind the wheel. Oldsmobile powered 307. So 86 was the first year they put these engines. This was the only engine available from 86 till 89. The 5-liter was a 307. Not a rocket ship. Not a bad engine, though. Reliable. You know, they served their purpose. This would have replaced the HT 4100 from 82 to 85. But 86 was the first year that they put these back in. It's kind of crazy how Cadillac went almost back in time, because your 4100s, let me think, 80 was carbureted, 81 was fuel injected with the 864, 82 was fuel injected, all the way up till 85, which was the HT 4100. Then they went back to carburetor. Then in 90, you could have got a 5-liter, which would have been this 307, or the 5.7, which would have been fuel injected 350. 91, 92, the 5-liter was the 305. Again, back and forth, so much confusion. But nice and clean underneath here, just really tied together nicely. This is, like I said, the new fender. Actually, you can see the old color here. It was kind of a darker gray. Battery is date coded 2021. Washer bottle. Looks like it's had hoses. This car has had service work done. I believe also a newer water pump, but it still needs some mechanical service work. It is a car you can get in and drive. Yes, I drove it. It drives beautiful. I did an oil change to it. We did a transmission service and a TCC solenoid in the transmission. So now the torque converter lockup switch has been replaced. Real common issue with these, and I found that out when I drove it to the body shop. Obviously put new tires on it, but that's all I've done to it. I haven't gone through and done anything else, and I know real common with these 307s, and this car as well, needs valve cover gaskets. Common on these. I pressure washed and cleaned the engine, but you can probably see kind of down, you can see a little bit of leakage the back there. It needs valve cover gaskets. It could probably use a tune-up as well. These are the original plugs and wires in this car. And how I know, you can see on the plug wire here, Delcor Electronics, and they're numbered. That means that they're original plugs and wires. So I would throw plugs, wires, maybe, you know, tune-up related stuff, valve cover gaskets, and cruise it. The AC has been retrofitted. Honestly, I haven't tried it. I will here in this video. But otherwise, you know, it needs a little bit. Like I said, it's not perfect. I know a lot of you guys expect me to have perfect cars, and that's going to lead into a question in the segment I want to ask you guys, and I want you to comment below and tell me what you think. But I'll ask that in a minute. And also, like I mentioned before, the antenna needs to be rebuilt as well. But clean, tidy under here. You know, like, I don't know how old the belts are or anything like that. I do know the AC has been retrofitted. It does have a newer radiator in it, hoses, stuff like that. This is not the original Harrison AC compressor, so the AC has been serviced as well. Yeah, so, all right, now let's jump behind the wheel. What am I talking about? I forgot to do the trunk. Nice and clean inside the trunk here. Gasketing, super nice, not all chewed up and falling off. It does have the locking gap. Maybe not. Did I do it wrong? I don't know. It has the locking gas cap, but it kind of catches. Sometimes it locks. Neat thing, it still has this little pull tab. Those are usually long gone at this point to pull that down. The trunk pull down does not work, and I think it's been disconnected because it's in the down position. Obviously, I'll show you that when I go and close it. But it does have the original trunk mat, original donut spare. I do not have the original floor mats. It didn't come with the original floor mats. These mats were in it. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know where they could have went. But that's what I have. Inside the deck lid here, no rust. Real common spot for them to rust. You can see the SPID tag here. Lots of combinations on there. Lacquer paint. 9057 is the paint code. 17T is the top trim color. But those are all your codes. Close this down. And you just basically close it like a traditional trunk. The pull down doesn't work. I don't know why. Haven't looked into it. It is what it is. All right, behind the wheel here, I'll show you what I got for keys. I have a few sets of keys. Just your typical C&D keys. A couple of them are gold. I think actually, yeah, look at that. Key's not all busted up and worn out. It still has the chime that you have the key in the ignition. I bet not all your Cadillacs do that. Close it up. Have the telltale strip. Everything lights up. Everything functions as it's supposed to on your dash lights and stuff like that. You get 93,432 miles. Fuel gauge works. Again, all the dashboard is in great shape. Leather wrapped wheel. Horn. Well, that's auto dimming. Those aren't going to work right now. We'll have to see if we can get the cruise on. Wipers. And they park. That's important. All four windows. Yep. Big old moonroof. Oh, baby. I absolutely love that Astro roof. Radio works. Obviously, the antenna doesn't. It is a symphony sound. Automatic climate control. I said I'd try the AC. To see if the compressor's spinning. It does have CB. This is the original Delco Breaker 19. This is Rabbit Foot here at the park. Breaker 19. I don't know how this works. It goes through the channels. I don't know anything about CBs. I don't even know if CBs is still functional, to be honest with you. Power mirrors on both sides. Signals. I showed you in my last video. Those. Love those. Got that AC on. I'm going to take a look and see if that compressor's spinning. And I'm going to say no. Might need Freon, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Like I said, I haven't done anything mechanical to this car other than an oil change. The compressor's not engaging, which it might be low on Freon. I don't know when the last time this thing was serviced, because unfortunately that's all worn off. But one other cool option that this car has, and it's supposed to be up here, but this is the auto dimming mirror feature, and it does work. The mirror is in beautiful shape. You can see that. As I was cleaning it, doing the windshield, and poof, off goes the mirror. Again, I'm running low on daylight here, so I said, you know what? It's going to take 24 hours to glue that guy back on. I have the kits. I will glue it back on, hook all the wires up, but this does work. It actually doesn't dim. What it does is it tilts. And it's kind of freaky. You'll get in this car, you'll start it, you'll look at the mirror, and you may, if you catch the light right, or if it catches the eye, you'll see it tilt down. Like, you know how, the regular cars, they have that little flick of a switch and it tilts? This one does it automatically, which is insanely cool. Have the power roof closing. Again, I mentioned to you, this here is starting to get a little loose. Keep it back. I do not have a owner's manual for this car. Didn't come with one. The other thing is, you can see this guy is a little loose here, but if you line it right back up, she closes just fine. All right, let's take her for a spin. All right, here we go, on the open road. I got 6% left on my battery here, so hopefully we can make it through. This is really the first time I've driven this car after I put the new tires on it. Those tires that were on the wire wheels were like really old and hard BF Goodwrenches, and this car drives so nice, so much better with these new tires. It's unbelievable how nice this car drives with these new tires. Shifts through the gears as it's supposed to. Like I said, we did the TCC solenoid. That's kind of a common thing on the 4100 powered cars. I think a Turbo 200 or whatever, and I forget what these things have, but real common to have to do on these. Take her out on the highway. Like I said, Olds 307 powered. She's a V8, but she's no rocket ship. She's not going to win a race, but she's going to get you to the finish line comfortably. That's what these Cadillacs are for. The people who, oh, they're slow. They're not slow. They get up, they move. It takes a little bit. They're not going to blow the doors off anyone. We're not going to be racing for pink slips. But it's a Cadillac Brougham. Who are you racing a Cadillac Brougham? I mean, this is a cruiser. Probably could use a little bit of an alignment there. Got the wheels straight. She wants to wander off to the right just a little bit. I want to see if the cruise works. Oh, what the heck? Oh, there we go. Cruise. Little green lights on. Are we engaging? I don't think so. Nope. That's weird. It comes on. Usually the light doesn't come on if it doesn't engage. Cruise does not work. But she cruises, she handles nice, brakes feel good. She does everything she's supposed to be for a going to town car. Oof, and what a horrible job I did doing the windshield. Oof. Fire me. Like I said, I was in a rush. Anyways, any questions about this Cadillac before I lose my battery? 978-930-1004. Deepest. Excuse me. 978-930-1004. No, they're not flashing. Another crazy thing, look, it's still got the wood little caps on the volume control knobs. Usually those little wood caps, they're little metal caps. Those are usually long gone by now, fallen off and gone. The fact that it still has them tells you again, someone loved this car. Cruising. Toot toot. 978-930-1004. Go over to my website, specialtymotorcars.net. Check out all the still pictures I have of this car. Ooh, we're gonna hit a green light. Price on this car, $69.95. Any questions? 978-930-1004. Whoa, Bessie. The other thing I should tell you is I bought this car from Copart. Obviously, it was a total loss for the insurance company, but it was sold to me on a bill of sale, which in New Hampshire is totally fine because this is an exempt car, just like that Riviera that I had recently sold. In New Hampshire, they don't title cars that are 1999 and older. So I bought this car on a registration, bill of sale. I have since gone to my local DMV and got a New Hampshire registration in my dealership name, which is transferable in all 50 states. So when this car is being sold, it's being sold on a New Hampshire registration. That registration, along with a bill of sale and another New Hampshire form that I'm going to provide you with, is transferable in all 50 states. You'll bring it to whatever state you're in to get your registration, to get your title. If you're a title state, you'll get a title for this car. Chances are the car is going to come back with a clean title. No prior salvage or reconstructed or anything like that. It's a 50-50 shot. Because New Hampshire's not a title state, it doesn't get entered into the DMV database as a salvage or, a previous salvage car. So most of the time it'll come back with a clean title. I'm going to put that disclaimer out there. If you get a clean title when you register it, good for you, great. It does show accident and collision damage, I believe, on the Carfax. But if it comes back as a reconstructed title, which is totally fine, it's no big deal, still transferable in all states, not trying to freak you out. I think I scared a lot of people on my Riviera video when I was trying to explain. It sounds bad, but it's really not. Again, if you get a previous reconstructed or a reconstructed title, that just means the car was a salvage title. It's been fixed, and it's legal to drive on the road again. And that's how most cars are that are cars that are title cars in states. Like my mother's Lincoln is a 2011. She's got a reconstructed title. When the insurance company salvages it, it's a salvage title. That has to be flipped into a reconstructed to show that it was repaired, and now it's legal to be retitled and re-registered. So hopefully I didn't lose you there. I know I ramble too much. I probably give too much information. But anyways, any questions, give me a call, 978-930-1004. The thing I wanted to mention to you guys, this car, like I said and pointed out, is not perfect. And I get cars that are offered to me that aren't perfect. And I can sell cars that aren't perfect. And obviously they would be budget-friendly cars rather than my, totally perfect, try to dial in as much as I can type of car. Let me know what you think down in the comments. It seems like every time I do sell a car that needs a little bit of TLC and I publish it, people in the comments light me up. Oh, it's not your typical car. Geez, Anthony, and they just roast me. Because I get it. I take pride in my name of putting out real nice products. But I know not everybody can afford it, or not everybody wants to buy the lowest mileage, nicest example out there. So let me know down in the comments if you would be open. Oh my God, that sun. If you would be open to seeing, more budget-friendly cars that aren't 100% perfect, that might show a little bit of patina like this car does, but are priced to, sell in that budget-friendly price range. So, I shouldn't have to ask for permission, obviously, but, I hate when I see people in the comments, which I'll probably get some for this car. Oh, this, that, the other thing. It's $69.95. Again, go find another one. Hard-loaded, Cadillac Brougham, 1987. My name is Anthony, Specialty Motor Cars. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll talk to you on the next one. So right now, Papa Bear is doing an oil change. She's a little oily under here, but very, very clean floor pans. Look how clean this car is under here. It's actually got most of the original exhaust. I believe it's the original resonator. And somewhere on here, GM. I did have a little repair done right there. But Papa Bear is doing the oil change. And then we're going to do a TCC solenoid in the transmission, and she's ready to go.